on the troll.
Hello and welcome to Zanzi Reality. We are back again. It's been a long rest. We are hoping that we are back now, and we're going to give you updates. Obviously, we give you relevant updates, not just any update. I think we appreciate the rest. I have been resting. I don't know about you, Emily. It helps to rest. Hey, we are generating a lot of energy from it. From my side, I'm thankful for the time that we got to rest.
Yeah,
but then
nice
we are back.
It lasted.
Greetings to everyone, and please press that like button, subscribe, share the video. I know we needed to rest.
And yeah, R.I.P. Zahara, man. R.I.P. Zahara. I mean, I'm very sad as to what has happened, and may her soul rest in peace. But we are back to our regular programming here. We're going to be discussing Muzi Sibiya's court case that's currently happening. And it was sentencing today, Mr. Anonymous, and a lot was happening in that court case. I have flipped the information sources that I could find that are publicly available to try and put this video together.
Yeah.
It's a lot. That's all I can say. And guys, take your drinks, your tea, your coffee, whatever you need. We are about to go on a long ride. Yes. So Muzi Sibiya arrived in the Tembisa Magistrate Court yesterday morning for the judgment in his illegal substance and illegal ammunition case. Sibiya is accused number 1 in the Senzo Meyiwa trial. Okay, so Muzi Tembisa Sibiya, who is accused number 1 in the Senzo Meyiwa trial, was supposed to know his fate at the Tembisa Magistrate Regional Court. This was supposed to happen on Friday, the 1st of December 2023, with regards to this possession of illegal substances and ammunition charges. But Sibiya made a solo appearance on the matter, and he was supposed to know whether he will be found guilty or not guilty. Now, at the time, we didn't know what was happening with this case. We just heard it being on passerby mentioned in the Senzo Meyiwa trial within a trial by your Sergeant Mogola and Buthelezi. They were slightly mentioning it, but as for the details, we all know that they didn't want to tell us or inform the public of the details of the case. So now we have to digest this separately. And to break the charges down, it was possession of unlicensed live ammunition, not firearm, ammunition, and dealing in illegal substances, which was not linked to the killing of Senzo Meyiwa. So they cramped up these charges in one trial. Okay, so an interesting point to note is that this NPA or the state asked that the judgment be postponed on the 1st of December. So when he made his appearance on the 1st of December, there was a request from the state that the matter be postponed. And I wondered why. And the handing down of the judgment also in possession of the illegal substances and ammunition case of Muzi Sibiya was then postponed to 12th of December. But this was not because the state asked for the postponement. The reason for the postponement was due to the ill health of the magistrate. He did not show up on the 1st of December. Announcing the postponement was another magistrate who stood in for this magistrate who was yesterday reading the verdict of Muzi Sibiya. His name was Tepo Mujapilu. He said that Sibiya will be in custody until the presiding magistrate in the matter was made available. So yeah, that is what happened on the 1st of December. We didn't cover it because not much was happening. You know, I wasn't motivated to cover it because I wanted to know the details of the case. The judgment was apparently 16 pages long. It took 2 hours to go through it yesterday. So that was the second appearance on the 12th of December that he made to hear his judgment. So he faced 2 counts, One was dealing with illegal substances, and the other, of course, was illegal possession of ammunition. And the state's case was that Sibiya in 2019 was found in possession of 10 sachets of this illegal substance. Now, initially, as I was looking through, the grams were not mentioned, but I found out later on that it was 0.7 grams of this illegal substance that rhymes with heroin. Guys, it's YouTube. We can't mention exactly what it is, but you'll catch the drift, right? What we are talking about, aka Nyaope. That's what he was charged with. And when he got arrested, apparently they found, or allegedly they found, 580 rands in his pocket as well. So the judge said that the substance was found to be heroin, and the state's case was in May 2020. So when police searched Sibiya's shack, they found cartridges in a black plastic bag. We've heard of the black plastic bag in the trial within a trial. And there were 9 live ammunition cartridges. Now remember that they found this ammunition in a black plastic bag as they were arresting him for the illegal substance case. And on the same day, he ended up confessing to Senzo's demise. And Sibiya denied that police found any illegal substances on him or that he sold any. So Sibiya denied these allegations. And on count 2 of the charges, Sibiya claimed that he was arrested by 15 to 16 police officers and that the police officers didn't find anything in the shack. Sibiya also claimed that he was merely arrested and interrogated regarding the murder of Senzo Meyiwa, which he knows nothing about. The magistrate found that Sibiya's version was outrageous, that he was merely arrested and interrogated about the murder of Senzo Meyiwa. He said in his judgment that those police officers had nothing to do with the investigation into the murder. They had no information regarding the murder of Senzo Meyiwa. Now, when I first heard of this, I was like, well, it seems like this magistrate is not following much of the proceedings of the Meyiwa trial. How come he does not know that the investigators were testifying in the Meyiwa case as well? I mean, Sergeant Mohola testified that in the High Court that after an unsuccessful search for the gun, she took an opportunity to question Sibiya. Remember that, Mr. Anonymous?
Yes.
About his involvement in the Meyiwa murder. And when he responded to the question, he said, I could see, this is what Mohola said, that when he responded to the question, she could see that Muzi was making admissions. Remember that. He said, I reminded him of his constitutional rights, and he went further to tell me. She even said it in Zulu at some point. Remember that testimony, you guys?
Well, we do.
So, didn't the same police officers as well say themselves in court that they questioned him on the Senzo Meyiwa matter the same day that they arrested him, and they claimed to have taken him to a Veiws hostel to look for a firearm, and that is where Mohola claimed that Muzi said that he had something in his chest that he wanted to confess to the murder of Senzo Meyiwa. So the magistrate said regarding count 2, the details the police gave were probable. The 3 versions put forward by the accused did not add up. So Magistrate Jerome Joseph is the one who read the judgment. He detailed how police testified that they found Sibiya in Tembisa while patrolling. They searched him and they found packs. Now,
this is in 2019.
Alleged, yes, in that 2019
March.
Yes, that the police were conducting a patrolling raid in Veiws section. And they were patrolling, they were moving from house to house, and they entered the house of Muzi Sibiya, and they were patrolling, on their patrolling duties, they found him with Nyaope 0.7 grams, as well as 580 in his pockets. And apparently they were handed in as exhibits.
How big is 0.7?
Well,
Depending on that pack that is in front of you.
0.7 grams. I'm trying to measure it with my head.
A gram is a sugar.
Yeah.
The sugar, 1 kg sugar size.
No, a gram. Think 500 grams is that one. That's this size, right? 500 grams of sugar.
Yes.
So 0.7
That's what
grams is very, very. It's a powder. It's very tiny. It's a very tiny substance.
No, I just I want to.
But according to the Act of the Illegal Substance, it qualifies to what the charges were according to the judge, Jerome Joseph. But 0.7 grams is very small.
1 gram.
1 gram is maybe around this much. So thinking 0.7, yeah, close to 1 gram.
They just round it up. I just wanted you.
Maybe like a teaspoon.
Yeah,
like a
exactly. Because when you're talking about grams, I'm asking this question because.
Like a teaspoon of the powder. Like a teaspoon.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. So this guy is arrested for.
I'm sorry. People are very sensitive and they're thinking that we are doing this because we are finding it. We're not finding the situation funny, okay, guys? For those of you who are going to come across this video and be on my neck. What is funny here is the details when you unravel them, which is why we like unraveling them with you guys. There's like a teaspoon of the powder, and they were saying that he was a dealer. And they said they found 10 sachets. So these 10 sachets it's that teaspoon that was divided into these 10 sachets because the entire gram was 0.7. So it's very confusing when they say 10 sachets because I am thinking, wow, that was a lot. You understand? But it's like a tip. I'm not an expert at this substance. Okay, I don't know how it works. I don't even think I want to know. But I have seen people that use it, and they do one. That's like one. So that's like 50 rand, 50 rand, 50 rand. Like the measurement is very tiny. It's very tiny.
Just to make sure, so a level of teaspoon is about 5 grams.
True, that's even more. My estimation was over. So how did it make 10 sachets? That's 0.7 grams. How did it make 10 packets? Someone please explain to me in the comment section down below because
that's a level teaspoon. So you put a teaspoon, you put a powder of grandpa, and you level it. That's 5 grams.
So 0.7 gram would be the tip of the teaspoon, the other part, the other side of the teaspoon.
It's a small fraction of the teaspoon.
How did it end up in 10 sachets? Or maybe they meant to say 10 sachets each contained 0.7 grams. Is that what they meant to say? But they didn't say that, these reporters. I need clarity on that. I am so confused. How does 0.7 make 10 sachets? Mr. Rodebus? So they're saying that on that day, as they were patrolling, they searched him and found the packs. Police say Muzi confirmed that it was Nyaope and he had 580 rands and 50 cents from sales.
Speculation.
Sibiya's lawyers argued that he was not found with the nyaupe. He was arrested and taken to a police station where he was assaulted and questioned about the murder of Senzo Meyiwa. Consistent.
But
his story.
So did they start doing that in 2019?
That's what they're saying, that they initially arrested him in 2019 and the charges were withdrawn. That's what they say. The charges were withdrawn, so he was let go.
Same thing that is currently happening with Zimdol.
Kinda.
Charges were, it was not put on the roll.
It was not put on the roll. It was as if it didn't exist, and now she's going to court.
No, I'm saying even now, as we speak.
Even now.
They are claiming research.
So they're still investigating. Oh, guys. Yane. This is a lot. So he was arrested and taken to a police station where he says he was assaulted and questioned about the death of Senzo Meyiwa.
Was those the submissions that were made? When was the proceedings happening?
Of which case?
Of the Tembisa one?
They started after they got arrested in 2020. So
was there a bail that was given to this man?
A hearing of a bail? That's something that the investigating officers would have to inform the public.
Because he was arrested on March and then later was arrested on...
He was arrested in March of 2019.
And then?
The charges were withdrawn.
And then he was arrested.
Let go. And then he was arrested again on the 20th of May. On the 31st of May. My apologies. The 31st of May, 2020.
Why is this whole... Why didn't this judgment... Why wasn't it shown? The whole of it? Because now it feels like we are creating a narrative of what we need to do on this Senzo case. So the finding of this judge has a bearing in that Senzo case's
it does
outcome.
Have a bearing. The outcome does have a bearing. It will affect him in the Senzo Meyiwa trial. Especially this trial within a trial and the admissibility.
Was he found guilty of ammunition?
Yes. Possession of ammunition. Illegal ammunition.
So now this ammunition now is going to be accepted on the other side.
Yes. So Sibiya said that after he was assaulted, they took his fingerprints and arrested him for dealing in illegal substances. He said days later, he was taken to the Tembisa court where he was released. He has denied having or dealing in illegal substances. So Sibiya's lawyer argued that there is no way of telling if the substance seized on the day is the substance that he was presented with in court. So the magistrate...
A very good argument.
Well, the magistrate said that considering the numbering of the evidence bag and that it was still intact, he is satisfied that this was the same substance.
Wow.
Sibiya's lawyers argued that he was only arrested to be questioned on Meyiwa's murder. And the magistrate dismissed this as outrageous, saying that the officers that arrested him were junior and worked in a different unit than the one investigating Meyiwa. The Tembisa Magistrates Court has also had to deal with allegations of assault and torture by Sibiya upon his arrest. So according to the defense's version, which was rejected by the court upon his arrest, Sibiya was taken to Shlokop, where he was questioned about Senzo Meyiwa's murder. He was assaulted and his head was covered with a plastic bag. His clothes were taken off and he was then told that he was being arrested for possession of illegal substances, and his fingerprints were then taken. So the court has rejected this version, saying that the officers who arrested Sibiya in 2019 could not have been investigating the former Orlando Pirates goalkeeper's murder, since they knew nothing about the case and they were junior constables. So this court is dismissing the claims of the alleged assault as well, which is also what's being argued.
Who are those people that arrested him?
Well, the names, I will mention them later on. I will mention them. I managed to find those names. He read them in his judgment. So later on, I'm going to be reading his judgment. The names are in the judgment.
Okay.
So, yeah, it seems like, the court dismissing the claims of his alleged assault solidifies the confessions to be perhaps made admissible in the trial within a trial, depending on how this case has turned out. In the Senzo Meyiwa case, in my opinion, so the defense has to come with a way of proving that indeed he was assaulted. I don't know how they're going to do it. I don't know how they're going to pull it off, because it seems like there's nothing.
The police are the only gospel truth.
Yeah, they believe, the magistrate in this court decided to believe the police and the state instead of the accused version.
That's the same thing is going to happen in the trial.
And most of the witnesses in this court case as well, apparently, allegedly, were police officers.
Same modus of operandus.
Well, Sibiya has maintained that allegations of assault are against himself, saying that he was arrested on the 30th of May 2020. He was subjected to a torture before he signed a confession statement in Diepkloof, Soweto, later on that day. Now, according to the state's case, that was in March 2019. So police were on patrol in the Veiws section in Tembisa. They found him in possession of 10 sachets.
Where did they find him? Street or home? Because
they're saying in his home.
What is?
They're saying in his home.
That's my worry. If you listen to what you have just said now, it's like they were patrolling and then on the street they got this.
But they said they found him in his
home.
No,
I know.
Yeah.
I'm hearing what you're saying.
Yeah.
And they got this in his home.
Yes. That's what they are saying. And they were patrolling. So in their patrolling, they were entering people's homes. I don't know. I don't understand. They need to help me understand that. They need to help me, assist me in understanding that I'm just a civilian. I'm a member of the public. I'm a layman. So that needs to be understood as to how do you patrol and you end up inside people's houses as you were patrolling without any warrants of search warrants or warrants of arrest. Or how does that happen?
So a police can decide now that they want to patrol and then they land in your door.
Find stuff
and then they find stuff in your house.
After they entered without even a warrant. And apparently the law, as we've heard in the trial within a trial, permits them to do such, to enter people's houses and search them without warrants. Did you guys see that or hear that during the trial?
No, it does not permit them to do so.
So what was happening when they were dismissing the warrants? They were saying that there's a condition. We analyzed the whole thing. There's a condition in the law
that is when you feel that there is danger, immediate danger. Was there any danger? This was a routine patrol.
It was patrolling.
So
perhaps they felt that there was immediate danger.
That's another level.
But isn't it weird how with these accused in particular, there's no protocol observed?
No.
Everything, there's no warrant. There's not even one where they tried to get a warrant of search.
No.
They didn't even try.
Ammunition.
No.
It's a confusion. Wishy. They were going to change because he was complaining about Brentwood, and then voila, they got ammunition.
Isn't it?
Sometimes it was not because of Brentwood. It was because he was complaining. It was a different situation. They were looking for an ID,
yes.
right?
Yes.
and also check the residential the address. Yeah, like nothing is followed when it comes to these guys. It's just
the Veiws section in Tembisa found him in possession of 10 sachets of heroin weighing 0.7 grams, and in May 2020, when police searched his shack, they found 9 live ammunition cartridges. But during the trial, Sibiya denied that police found any substances on him and that he sold any. When he was arrested in 2019, Magistrate Josephs says that the court heard from the police officers who carried out the arrests that 10 sachets of the substance were found in the accused's pocket, as well as notes amounting to 580, and all these were taken in as exhibits. So, reading the judgment, Magistrate Joseph says that according to the evidence led in court, the police officers who arrested him told the court that Sibiya had told them that the substance found in his pocket was obviously nyaupe, and that the money was the proceeds of dealing in illegal substances. But Sibiya denied this. Sibiya denied that he told them that the money was for proceeds of that. He's denying it.
okay.
So the accused version was that he was never found with the substances and money, and that when the police arrived while he was with his friends, and when they did so, they ran off. So they were then chased down by the police, and he was arrested and he was taken to Schuolokop, where he was arrested and questioned on Meyiwa's murder. So on count 2, Sibiya claimed that he was arrested by 15 to 16 police officers, and that the police officers never found any ammunition in his shack, while Sibiya claimed that he was merely arrested and interrogated about the murder of Senzo, which he said he knew nothing about. But the court rubbished those claims. The judge said that the court finds this explanation to be outrageous for the mere fact that the unit for which Constable Mudau and Constable Baloi worked and had nothing to do with the investigation of the murder of Senzo Meyiwa's case. So they are the ones who worked on the illegal substances case. It's a Constable Mudau and Constable Baloi.
Where are they now?
I don't know. I have no idea. I was not there, you guys. Everything I've been compiling from the sources that have made the information publicly available. I was not in that courtroom, nowhere near it. So Sibiya was charged with dealing in illegal substances when he was first arrested by Constable Mudau and Constable Baloi in 2019, or the 19th of March 2019. But the charges were later withdrawn. He was then rearrested just over a year later by Sergeant Batu Mohola on the 30th of May 2020, when new evidence was found against him. So the murder took place in Vosloorus, and the police station in that area would have dealt with the investigation. Furthermore, it only became known to the police a year later that the accused might be involved in the murder of the soccer player. These allegations, said the judge, of the accused that he was only arrested to be questioned on the murder case also falls through the mat on the possession of the ammunition. His version is a bare denial that there was ammunition found in the shack. However, the details Sergeant Mohola and Constable Buthelezi gave where it was found, the information the accused gave, which they immediately followed up, makes the version more probable. According to the judge, it's not me, guys. It does not make sense to the court, the judge said, why, as the version of the accused, is that they had to go back to his shack the second time. he said it doesn't make sense that they had to go back to the shack for the second time. However, in the trial within a trial, they do mention that they went to the shack to go get the ID and help him change his pants and shoes. Did I miss something?
Yeah.
So in this trial, they chose not to mention that. Those details, they are only mentioned in the main trial within a trial with the Senzo Meyiwa case. With this other case of the Tembisa, they didn't mention those details.
Is this the same Constable Modao Laki?
I have no idea his name. He just said Modau and Baloi. So I don't know their first names. Is he affiliated with Tembisa? The one that you're finding?
There is a cop who allegedly did a demise, if you remember, in a woman in hospital who did that. And that that constable, that was 2022, that is Constable Lucky Modao.
Could it be the same one?
Currently suspended. Allegedly.
The one who
allegedly.
Shot.
It's alleged.
No, but he's convicted. Is it the one who also turned the weapon on himself? I know that story very well. Hi, man. It's allegedly. It's alleged. Guys, please. Those who are closer to the situation, can you please confirm at the comment section whether this is true or not? We're just working with the internet here. I have no idea, but it would be very interesting if it's Lucky Modao. He's currently now in a wheelchair. He how do I describe this? After he ended Lebu's life, he turned the firearm on himself and he survived. However, he is immobile. The only thing he can move is his head. And even in the judgment of the case, the judge was like, there's no way they could put him in a prison because there's no prison that will be able to accommodate him. So he went back home. But can't move. He damaged his brain.
Mm-hmm.
His brain damaged.
That would be very interesting.
It would be very interesting. So he's from Tembisa Modao. I remember the story very well. What he did to Lebu. At work, at her place of work, Tembisa Hospital.
That would be very interesting. So, this man is from Tembisa.
Mm-hmm.
Where is Mohola from?
Mohola is from the cold case unit in Pretoria. I don't know where she resides. She didn't want to disclose that, remember. She said she worked at Vosloorus at some point, but she didn't want to disclose whether she lived there or not.
When did Brigadier Genin start working as head of cold case?
He said he became the head in 2021. Was it 2020 or 2021? But he started working at the cold case division in 2018.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
From what I remember.
Okay.
Furthermore, the three versions put forward by the accused does not line up or cooperate with each other, according to Judge Josephs. The three versions that he heard that were put forward by the accused in the court did not line up or cooperate with each other, according to the judge. So while the presiding magistrate felt Sibiya's version was simply not believable, the court finds that the state had proven beyond reasonable doubt that the accused was in possession of the illegal substances mentioned in the charge sheet. Further, that the accused was in control and had the custody of the shack. He knew about the ammunition in the shack and merely took the court on a life journey or on a journey to arrive at its findings. So what this magistrate is saying is that the version that was put by Sibiya supported the version of the police and the witnesses and the state. It helped him arrive to the conclusion that he was in possession of those substances and that ammunition.
The fact that I'm saying that I was actually merely detained for being questioned about
The Senzo Meyiwa.
the Senzo Meyiwa case.
Saying I did not have those in my possession. It helped the Judge Joseph, to conclude that what the state and what the police are saying is more true than what the accused is saying.
So the issue
Without
of
reasonable doubt.
yeah. It's a good thing it was not on television. I mean,
I'm sorry.
you can feel the working backward kind of a situation. If closing loose end was a thing, if I didn't know, I would say maybe it looks like that. Just saying.
So the judgment, okay, that I caught from the SABC, like I only caught 5 minutes of the reading of this.
That's all they show us.
That's all they showed us. That's
exactly
all we had.
the same thing that happened to Tifo, right?
That's what. Yes, when he was being by the LPC.
Yes,
when he was being told that he's no longer by the LPC.
It came like that's 5 minutes.
But it was more like 2 minutes.
Yes.
Even with the video, it was more like 2 minutes. 2 minutes, and then they read that whole entire judgment, and then it was game. It was done. But the proceedings, the events of the courtroom, what was happening throughout the entire trial was never broadcasted. The same thing happened with this case, and we got 5 minutes of the reading, but I'll go through it, guys, because I even heard some people saying that they did not hear what he was saying. The audio was not to the T, or even how he pronounced some of the words. I struggled, but we got you on Mzansi Reality. Now, this is what went down. He said the court is of the view that the witness for the prosecution testified what happened on the day in question. The accused knew the truth because he was there when everything happened, and that is where the court is placed on trial in his judgment. The only common cause in this case is that the accused was arrested on the 19th of March, 2019. Mr. Anonymous, you keep confusing this March date. It was not 2020, it was 2019, where the charges were withdrawn and he was released. Then another arrest happened when Bomukhola now came to question. It was the 31st of May 2020 where he made that confession. That day, the 31st of May.
So the March was the release day.
The March, yes, was the first arrest in 2019.
And then he was released the same day.
I don't know whether it was the same day or what, but the charges were withdrawn and he was let go.
Okay.
And then somehow, as soon as the court case division got a hold of this case, they resuscitated it and they found new evidence. And on the 31st of May, when they went to arrest him, remember, they said, we are arresting you for this case of possession of illegal substances. And then they found a black plastic bag and they added ammunition. And then after coming back from Vusimusi hostel, it's alleged that Muzi Sibiya had something to get off his chest, and they took him to confess for Senzo's murder with Colonel Mboto at Soweto. So for that, okay, this substance, I've already discussed it in great detail, and it is alleged that Muzi Sibiya was arrested for dealing in these substances in March of 2019 in Tembisa, where he lived, but was later released. Do you guys remember Zungu's testimony? He alluded to this event in his testimony. If you guys can have time or make time to revisit Zungu's testimony, there's a part where he was talking about this illegal substance case. And I was puzzled. I was like, what is he talking about? And he mentioned the year 2019. Do you remember that, Mr. Anonymous?
Yes.
So this is the case that he was talking about. So the officers claimed that they were patrolling, and they patrolled all the way to Muzi's place of residence. And he was later charged for the 9 bullets that were found in his place of residence. A year later, this is the 31st of May 2020 now, when they were coming and arresting
So
him.
the ammunition was discovered in 2020.
Yes, 31st of May in a black plastic bag as they were looking for his ID. So now that we know all of this, it is also mentioned that he was also arrested a year later on the 30th of May 2020, and a J50 warrant of arrest and a second charge was added for possession of ammunition. So this sort of kind of coincides with what Mogola and Gininda's testimonies were saying, or arguments that they made in the Senzo Meyiwa trial. However, how do we explain that J50 situation now? They need to make it make sense, because they said he was absconding his arrest, but now the Tembisa trial is saying that they were withdrawn. The charges were withdrawn. Remember that whole J50 warrant of arrest?
Yes.
Making him seem like he was running away and could not be found. He gave them the wrong address.
Hence, it couldn't be sent papers summoning him.
You couldn't be sent summons, right? So now they need to explain this, because the charges were withdrawn.
Yet he was arrested in 2019 inside where he was residing.
Yes, where he was residing. And Mgomezulu was saying that address said 1818. It was correct, but they denied, and they said no, the one that they have is 818. So, kwenzakalani?
Look, it's a mess.
Hi, man.
But I can tell you what this is doing is making it a bit easier.
You think so?
For this one to take a decision.
Now they need to pull those
Hence, it
records
had to be rushed
quickly.
It has to be rushed and finished in December, because January was continuing with the trial within the trial.
And he will be sentenced on the 18th of January. So that is like days.
Before.
4 days to be exact, before the trial resumes. The trial within a trial resumes.
Yes.
So that they can go on and make these confessions admissible. Because the other court is saying that you is a liar.
Mm-hmm.
Allegedly.
What is South Africa? I don't have anything to say.
In a movie.
I don't have anything to say. I just have to say, hi, South Africa.
We are in a movie, guys.
It's a mess.
Sure.
It's a mess. If it doesn't go through your throat, we'll shove it in until it's in your tummy.
Now, further reading from the judgment of Judge Josephs, he said that a magistrate, he's not a judge, he's a magistrate, Magistrate Josephs. He said the version of the prosecution and witnesses was and is irreconcilable with the version of the accused. There is a factual dispute between the version of the accused and that of the state witnesses. That was the only common cause between the clients. And I was like, I don't know what he meant by that. I don't know what he's talking about, okay? But the version of the prosecution and the witnesses lies and is irreconcilable with the version of the accused. So he's saying that there's a factual dispute between the versions of the accused and that of the state witnesses if the accused was dealing or had in his possession any illegal substances and that he was in possession of ammunition. The version is mutually destructive to each other. The allegations by the state witnesses were outright denied by the accused. So he stated a Supreme Court of Appeal judgment. It was by Winery Group Limited and others versus Mickle, SA and others, 2003 volume 1, which stated that the approach of the court to irreconcilable versions are set out as follows. The technique generally employed by the courts is resolving factual disputes where there are two irreconcilable versions before it may be summarized as follows. We come to a conclusion on the dispute of issues that the court must make findings on A, the credibility of factual witnesses, 2 or B, their reliability, and C, their probabilities. So in light of the assessment of A, B, and C, the court will then, as a final term, determine whether the party burdened with the onus of proof has succeeded in discharging it. Firstly, he said, on count 1, it must be mentioned that the prosecution considered that on count 1, the main count of dealing in illegal substances, they have not proven beyond reasonable doubt that the accused on the day in question was dealing in illegal substances. So he's saying that the versions are not agreeing. So he's using that court case to measure which side is correct more than the other. But the state failed to prove that Muzi was a dealer.
Oh, they just made it easier by saying that they cannot prove. If they said we have proven you could have been a dealer. What I mean, what the state says flies.
In summary, that's what.
What did they use to prove that this man was in possession of these things?
Nothing.
Right?
They just chose to believe the police officers over the word of
What did they use to determine that this man was in possession of ammunition? Nothing. No fingerprints mentioned.
No.
Nothing. It's basically linking you to that.
No fingerprints were done, tested. No.
Hogwash. This is what we call hogwash.
My
Now,
God.
what these things are showing us is that if you don't have money in South Africa, you're in trouble.
I know you're going down. You're going down. Because here you literally need a lawyer who's not afraid, who has a liver of a lion. You cannot, and those type of lawyers are not cheap. Okay, let's be honest, they're not cheap. So Ngomezulu is expensive for this one. They'd have to pay him a lot. And there's others as well, your Mshololos. You know, this is a lot. Your Dalimpofus. You know, this case needed the sharks. Your Anton Katz, remember him? It needed a shark, this one, because with a shark it's not roll over and accept defeat. You understand? So this one was tough for Muzi in particular.
It was not tough. This is an easy situation.
But can you watch yourself going through that? I mean, it's tough. And I saw the descriptions of how he looked calm. Some people are even saying he's looking like he's disrespectful. Can you imagine how fed up he must be right now?
Well, the system is working against you all the time.
So what must he do? Because I'm seeing people are complaining
There's nothing
about
you can
his demeanor.
do. There's nothing you can do. What is he supposed to do? What do you do if you're fighting a well-oiled machine?
There's nothing you can
Exactly.
do. I've been in not really in a court case, but in an altercation where I found myself where I felt like there's nothing I can do. I just must accept defeat. I've been there before.
So basically, I don't have anything to say this, but this case is, for me, smells like hogwash. I'm not defending this man, but what pains me the most about this type of cases where they are resurrected whenever they want to is that no one is safe.
Especially if you're poor. You are not safe from all of this. You're not.
No, that's cool, man. I'm done.
But thank you guys for tuning in. Don't forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe, okay? We'll be back with more.
It's
tomorrow.
a bye. We are warming up.
We are warming up.